Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I am going to be teaching you how to create this Coca-Cola dashboard from scratch. We are going to be starting from importing the dataset to Power Query, data modeling, DAX calculations, and then down to visualizations. So let's start. Okay, so first thing we are going to do is to bring in our data set, and since it is an Excel workbook, we just have to click the Excel workbook, select the Coca-Cola data set and open it. So once it loads, we're going to select the table that we need to use. So this is the data set and this is the table we need for this particular analysis or dashboard. So I'm going to select the table one, but I'm not going to load it immediately. I have to take it to Power Query. So go to transform data, select transform data, so we can check if there are any corrections we need to make to this data before we use it. Okay, so let's check our data type. That's retailer, it's text, good. The ID, correct. Invoice date is correct, it's in date format. The region is in text format. State is in text format. Just have to make sure everything is correct. City, beverage brand, um, days to deliver, numbers, that's whole numbers, which is okay. Text format too. Then our price per unit, yes, this is in we have called it fixed decimal number, that's why it's in 1.2 here. Replace current, so it's already in dollar sign. We have to replace it dollar sign. Units sold, it's okay in whole number. Total sales, we're going to replace it to the dollar sign to replace current. Good. Then let's go to operating profits, is in decimal number, but we want to change it to fixed decimal number. Okay, replace current. Then go into operating margin. Okay, I think we don't need this, but we still have to replace current. Let's put it back to operating margin, should be in decimal, so it's okay. Then we have our product URL, which we are going to use, okay, for our analysis. So when it's time to use that, I'm going to let you know which one to use. So I think we've changed all that and it looks clean to me. All we need to do now is to close and apply, so it will load back into our Power BI dashboard. Okay, so it has loaded now and it's showing us this is in table view. We want to see the information we have. So our invoice date is already correct, everything now is correctly applied. We can see our price per unit, our total sale are all in dollar sign, including the operating profit. Okay, so, and our product URL. So let's go into our report view. So once we're in the report view, first thing I'm going to do right now is design the dashboard background and put in shapes or placeholders for all my charts. So let's start. So first thing I'm going to do is to go to format, select canvas background, and then select color. So right now we're going to the colors for this background is here on the screen, so I'm just going to copy the color code and paste it here on that canvas background. Just paste it in there. Now we've copied the color code, reduce transparency, and you have your background image. Okay, next thing I'm going to do now is to put in text box for my chart title, for my dashboard title, sorry. And right now I'm working with the Coca-Cola Product Analysis for 2022, so that's what I'm going to type in. Let's type it in quickly. I'm going to centralize all of this, increase the size. Let's increase the size to 18, make it bold, and then once it's bold, I want to come to filter here, come to size and style, so that we can remove the background of this text box. So I've removed it. So you can see that my Coca-Cola product analysis text is too dark, which is not okay. So I'm going to just change the text color to white or a little bit ash. I'm going to change it to white. I'll use this color code for the text color. So now we've done that, I have to adjust it a little bit. It's adjusted now, this is fine. Then the next thing we're going to do is to also insert shapes for our chart. Once we start building our chart, we'll need to insert. So what I'm trying to do is just to kind of create a structure for the dashboard. So let's go into shapes.
So first thing I'm going to do is to bring in our shape. I'm going to use the rectangular shape. Then go to Format, Shape Style, the rounded corner, set it to 10. Fill, remove the blue, set it to the same color as the background color. We're going to add shadows, remove the borders, go to shadow, put it on, select the color of the shadow to a lighter color. Yeah. So once that adjust it, put this position to bottom left, low.
And that is okay. Now I have one shape. So I need about 4 shapes for my chart. So one, Control C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So arrange these 4 shapes now. So good. Now the shapes are set and aligned properly, but there's something I forgot to mention. When setting my dashboard background, I wanted to also increase the canvas. So it's too small for what I want to use it for. So I'm just going to go to canvas settings, select type, select custom, and then under width, I'll put into 1004 to increase it. Fine. Now after doing that, let's arrange our chart shapes properly again. Fine, this is okay. So this is done so I can have space for displaying the images we need. Okay, so I would also like to put a shape or a holder, placeholder for my key metric. So let me copy this and paste it. I'll be putting this by the side and adjusting it. So go to shape style, go to fill. I want to be using a lighter color for this. Let's select this. Then go to shadow. I don't want to use the same previous shadow settings. Reduce transparency to 35. Increase blur to 50, and then put it to center. Good. So it looks good to me. That's what I want to use for my key metrics. So I'm still going to make any adjustments when as we continue building the dashboard. So this space in the middle is going to be for our images. Okay, so once we're done with this, the next thing we're going to create is our dates table. Okay, so this is the DAX code we're going to use to create this dates table here on the screen. So I'm just going to copy it and then I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so to create the date table, all you need to do first of all, go to your table view. Okay, bring down this, go to new table. That's what you're going to use. Create the new table and then Control V, paste the formula of the date table. So basically, what does the date table do? The date table starts from the first invoice date and ends at the last. The invoice date is my date column in my table, and the name of my table here is table 1. So that's why you see minimum table 1 invoice date. So it starts from the invoice date and ends at the last. It creates a row for each date in that range and also adds helpful columns like year, month, quarter, and day, just like this. Okay, so you can see we have year, quarter, quarter number, month, name, month. So these are helpful columns that helps us to analyze our data easily and also break it down. So we can use this to compare monthly sales or even track weekly sales and trends. Okay, so this is what the date column does. So the start date gets the earliest date from our invoice date column, while the end date here end gets what the latest date. So we use min for the start date and max for the latest date. This defines the full range of dates we need for our calendar. Then the calendar here, the calendar formula here generates one row for each date starting from the start date to the end date. So it will generate one row each. Look at it here. You can see generating one row each for each of these dates. Okay. So when we have other things like year, quarter, name, we're specifying which columns we want for each of our rows. Okay, so this year here, year formula to return, extract the year from each date. Quarter, under quarter name, sorry, we'll have under quarter, extract quarter from each date, extract the month from each date, extract the, so this is the date calendar and this is what we're going to use for this. So let me commit this and then we'll start on.
So the next thing we're going to do after this, we've created our date table. You can see it here right now. It's all here. After creating our date table, we'll have to model it. We'll have to use data modeling to connect the date table to our main table. So no, it's not enough to just create a date table. You still have to connect it. So go to data modeling tab. Can you see it here? So remember, while we're creating our date table, we use the invoice date as our start minimum and maximum, right? So all we have to do now is drag these dates up, drag it together to the invoice date, and that's all. Look at what it brought out. Yes, we need one to many, showing that one of them has unique values while the other has duplicate values. So let's save this. If you look at this now, you can see that the star here indicates that the table 1 has duplicate values of the dates, while the date table itself has unique values, which is exactly what we need. So we've created our date table. Next thing we want to do is to create other DAX formulas like this. So let me go back to report view. Okay, so the next thing is to bring in other DAX measures, and to do that, the first thing I'll be doing is to create a table where I'll be putting in all my DAX measures or calculations. This is to ensure that my calculations are not scattered and I will not have to start looking for them completely. You will see it here under DAX measures. You can see it's empty. There's nothing in there. So to start creating our first DAX measure, this is what we're going to be creating. First of all, we're going to be calculating the total units sold, the units sold month on month, total sales, sales month on month, transaction count, and total price. So let's go into our total units sold. So right click on your DAX measure. All you need to do, right click, select new measure, select new measure. What do we need? We want to calculate our total units sold equal to, what do? We say sum. That's the formula we're going to use. As you're selecting it, the formula will just come as sum, open brackets. What are we looking for? Units. So you can see the units sold here, close brackets, enter. So we're also going to calculate our total amount. So that's the sales made. Total sales. Still going to use our sum formula, sales, total sales, and close. So we want to get the overall total sales. What's the next thing we need to find? So the next thing we're going to find is our transaction count. Transaction count is how many transactions how many transactions were made on this particular product in so and under so time. That's what transaction time and count means. So let's go to new measures. This time around, we're not going to use sum. Okay, so trans count. Let me use it as trans count. This time around, we're not using sum. We're using a formula called count rows. We're going to use a formula called count rows. What are you asking us to count? Count table 1, which is the name of my table. Now, why am I using this count rows formula? It is because in my table 1, let me save this first. In my table here, transaction count is to tell us like how many unique transactions are being made, right? And if you can see in my table here, there are records of transaction made every single time it was made, every day, every time, every hour. Like if you look at our invoice date, there are records of transaction made every single time. So we want all those records. So that's why we're using count rules. We want to see all the records, how many times were transactions made within the year 2022. So that is why we're using count rules to count all the
combined together. So instead of sum, we're using average price. So this is done now. The next thing we are going to do now is to calculate the total sales MOM month on month and the profits, and sorry, the total units month on month. That is what we're going to display on our KPI panel. So this is the formula for sales month on month. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it here in the DAX formula box. So I copied and pasted it here. So let me explain what this formula is about. So the sales month over month is basically just a way to measure how much sales have increased or decreased compared to the previous month. Okay, so PM here stands for previous month. PM here stands for previous month, while CM here stands for current month. Okay, so this line, where we have dates here, this date add formula, its function is to shift the current month back, the current context back 1 month. To calculate this total sales, shift it back 1 month. That is what it's telling us. Okay, so we're going to compare this versus the current month. That is what it stands for. Current month is just to give us the total sale for that particular month, while the previous month context date add there, the date added there is to give us the previous month total sale. So to shift that total sales back 1 month. Okay, then when we have return if, this is a function that tells us that if, so if and current month, comma previous month, comma close bracket, current month divided by previous month minus 1. This particular formula ensures that it runs when both current month and previous month have values. So it will avoid you dividing your values by 0 or having blank results. So this particular formula will return the answer into a percentage change. It will be in percentage. Okay, so if current month is higher than previous month, the result is positive, but if current month is lower than previous month, the result is negative. So let's save it. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to also do the profits, no, not profits, please, total units month over month. So to do that, I'll just copy the sales month over month and replace the value. So Control C to copy, come to DAX measures, select new measure, make sure you've saved this already, then Control V. So what are we looking for? Units, right? Total units month over month. Total units month over month. So calculate, instead of total sales here, we're going to use total units sold. So calculate total units sold. Date add, calculate it back 1 month minus 1 month. Okay. Then also calculate the current units sold. And that is all. That's just the only thing you are replacing in this formula. And save it. So you can see it appeared here. Total units sold. Please ignore my wrong sentence casing. Okay, so now we've done this. What's the next thing to do? The next thing to do is to start building our charts. So let's start building our chart using the DAX formulas we've calculated. We are going to build our chart, and these are the charts we want to build. So let's first of all build a bar chart showing us the total units sold by each beverage brand. So let's build our bar chart. So bring out your data pane and your build pane, bring out your bar chart. Look at where we have start bar chart, select it, then go to under your data, select beverage brand, or you drag it down to the y-axis, and then you select your total units sold. I will drag it down to the x-axis, and you have it here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is to build our bar chart showing the total sales for each region. So since I've already built the first bar chart, all I need to do is to copy and paste. So we have our second bar chart now, and then all we need to do right now is to remove the beverage brand. Since we're looking for total sales by each region, we're going to select our region here. I'll drag it down to the y-axis. So the next chart we're going to build here is the donut chart, showing us the percentage of transactions by region. So make sure you're not selecting any charts. Go to donuts here and select the donut chart. Once you select the donut chart, let's add our data to this donut chart. What are we looking for again? Transaction count by region. So select your transaction count. It should be under values, and then select your region and drag it down to legend, and to split these regions by each percentage of transaction count. So the next chart we're going to build right now is our total sales by state using the map chart. In this case, I would love to use the shape map to do this. So select your shape map, okay, open it a little bit, use your state, drag your state down to location, then drag your, what do you call it, what are we looking for again, total sales, yes, drag it down to color saturation. Color saturation is to show us, tell us that okay, wherever you have lighter colors we have less cells there, and wherever you have deeper colors you have more cells. So that is what this chart is going to display for us. The next chart we are going to display is the total profits by month. Remember, we already have our date table, so all we need to do here is bring in our line chart. Make sure you're not selecting any chart. Bring in your line charts, bring it in, and then once you've brought, now this line chart is brought in, go to your date table here. Remember, we have splitted our table, our invoice column, into dates, into month, year, week. So right now we need month, so select month name, and then by what again, let's see it, by total profit. So month name by total profit. Where do we have our total profit here? Where do we have our operating profit? Good, so select it. Good, it will give us our sum of operating profit. Now there is something that is of worthy, that is noticeable here. You can see that our date column here is not properly aligned from January to December. That is not a problem. All you need to do is go back to your table view, okay, go to date table again, under month name, which is what we use. Once you've selected the month name and highlighted it, all you need to do is to go to sort by column, okay, go to sort by column, drag it down, select the drop down, and what do you want to sort it by? You want to sort it by month number. The month number is from 1 to 12, right? So wherever you have 1, it should give you January. Wherever you have 2, it should give you what? February. So sort by month number and select, and it's working. Good, so that is done. You go back to your report view now, and you can either refresh this, refresh your data, or hold on, refreshing didn't work, fine, that's not a problem. All we need to do is rebuild this. Let's rebuild it again. So go back to month name on your date table, go to month name, drag it down to your x-axis, then go to your DAX, your table 1, to collect the operating profit, drag it down to y-axis. So you can see that it is now arranged. Sometimes when you make that settings, it doesn't automatically start working, so you can just delete the chart and build it back again. So you can see now that our operating profits have been arranged from January to December. So we have built all 5 charts. The next thing remaining is to customize our charts to the way we want it to look like. Okay. So to customize our bar chart, or our and any other chart, first of all select the bar chart, go to format, select first of all the y-axis, turn up the title, go to x-axis drop down, turn up the value and turn off the titles too. So once we've done this, we go down to bars. We want to change the color of our bars, and this time around we want the color to show us a range of color from the deepest to the lightest. Okay, so we're going to be using the conditional formatting option to do that. If you remember, our chart here is what? Total units sold by beverage brand. So we're going to be conditional formatting it. Select FS, that's the conditional formatting, go to select drop down, select gradient, then what field should we base this on? I want it to be based on the total units sold, so select total units sold. Then it's asking you if to select the minimum color and the highest maximum color you want. So I'm going to be using a color picker tool to select the color I want. Remember, this is our color palette here, and I'm going to be picking the deepest color, the first color there on the bar. So I'm going to be selecting this first color here to use as my maximum color. I'll be selecting the lighter color to use as my minimum color. I'm going to be using my color picker tool to just pick the color. So instead of copying the color codes, I can simply pick the color from any screen I want. So color picker tools makes it very easy to use colors or to pick colors. So for my Windows, I use Windows Shift C to collect my color code. So just select the code, copy it here, and you are good to go. Okay, good. So this same one, let me also Windows Shift C and copy the rose color too, and you are good to go. Right, so let's paste in the first color I clicked here, select here, go to more colors. Then I'll use Windows V, sorry, not Windows Shift V. I'll use Windows V to collect the first color I picked, which is the CC444B. Okay, then for the lowest color, I will still do the same thing. Go to more colors, Windows V. It's a shortcut to go to my clipboard, sorry, to collect the last color I copy, which is E4B1AB. Select it, and then when you are done with that, select OK. You can even add a middle color if you want to, but that's fine. So let's see if we can add a middle color. Select more, go to, okay, so I'm just going to pick a color between this. Let's pick a color that is a bit lighter than this. Okay, okay, I can do this a bit lighter. So okay, so let's see what happens here. So you can see that our bar chart has been graded from the darkest to the lightest here. Can you see that? Fine. So that is how we use color conditional formatting and the gradient option to set our bar chart color. So to apply this same formatting option to the second bar chart, which is the total units sold by region, all I need to do is to go to my home tab here. The first bar chart is still selected. Go to this brush option. This brush option here is just a format painter tool that can help you to just copy the formatting of the previous chart and pasting it on the next chart. So I've selected the format painter. It will come out as a brush tool icon, and then come to the next bar and select, just drop it down there, click on your mouse, and the bar chart will change the same settings you had for the first one. So before we continue with other charts, I'd like us to finish customizing this first bar chart. All right, so let's put in our data label. So just go to data labels here, turn it on. Okay, so I'm set it out inside. So position, I want the position to be inside and okay, that's good to me. Everything else is turned off. Fine. Then the next thing I would love to do is to change the title. Okay, reduce the title size to probably, let's reduce it to 12 for now. And then I want to centralize it. Okay, this looks good to me. Then I would love to change the color of my text color because I will be removing the background color of this chart. So I'm going to I'm going to change the color of my title to this light gray white color. Okay, that looks good to me. The next thing I want to do right now is to go to size and style and turn off the background. Fine, so you can see our background has been turned on, but there are certain things that are still grayed or hidden. So what I'm going to do right now is to go back to my y-axis. We should have done this. Enter values of y-axis, turn them to this lighter 20% darker white, select it so it will not be too bright but bright enough for you to see. Go to x-axis to go to value here, turn it to this same particular option 20% darker, so that in case we need to see the values we also see them. Then I want to turn off the legend. I don't need the legend, so I turn it off. So I think this looks good. Okay, this looks good. Then for the data labels, we can't see it clearly, so I'll just go to data labels option, go to value here, select it, and I'll put it at white. Good, so it's clearer now. So how does it look? Better, right? So since it's still selected, I'll go to format painter, select format painter and paste it back to the second chart so that to apply the same settings to it. So how does this look? Good. Now let's arrange our chart before we put in the other, before we format the other charts. So I'm just going to move these charts, these three charts, to another site, move them so I can arrange these charts. So let's do that now.
So we finished arranging our bar chart here. The next thing we're going to do is to customize the other charts. So I'm just going to pick the map chart first and bring it over here. Now to apply the same settings of this bar chart to the map chart, all I need to do is still go back, select any of the bar charts, then go to format painter, select the format painter, and come back to the map chart and drop it. It's as simple as that. You see, it's just apply the same settings that I set for the other one on this same map chart. So all I need to do right now is to just adjust the map chart where I want it to fit into my placeholder. This is fine and good. Okay, that's okay. Okay, you can see that it's not showing any legend, but if I hover over it, it will show me the two tips, that's the state and how much sales they made. So the map chart is good to go. The next thing we're going to customize or format here is our line chart. So let's pick it up and bring it here to the center. Let's see what happens when we still do the copy format painter. So select a chart, then go to format painter, copy it, or just select it, then come here and drop it on the line chart. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. So a lot of things happened here, which is okay. It has reduced the work for us actually, but we still need to do other little adjustments. First of all, let me go to format, then scroll down to lines. Now, all cell is on, line is solid, which is okay. at default state, default settings, the size I want it to be normal. Turn off border. I want the borders to be off. Go to fill. Scroll down. Go to fill. I'm going to use my color picker to pick this particular color. That's the color I'm going to use for my default button color. So Windows Shift C. Just select copy, close, go to fill, go to more colors, and Control V. And okay, it's giving you that. But if you notice, you can see that the values in there are dark in color. So we're going to change that. That's not a problem. So after putting on our fill for the default settings, let's go to hover. Once you hover over, what do you want it to show? As I'm hovering, it's showing me white, but I don't want it to show me white. So let me go to hover. My fill should not be white. I'm going to use this very light pink color here. Just going to use it. So when I'm hovering, can you see what's happening there? Good, good. So the next thing I'm going to go to, I'm going to you go over to the selected. I'm going to use selected this time around. So once I select it, I don't want it to show me black. You see? Good. So I don't want this. This is what I want here. I'll go to color. I want to use this particular dark red here. I'll just select this dark red. Good. I think this looks good. Let me reduce transparency a little bit. Good. Very nice. So this is good. So, but we are not done with the slicer yet because the text values needs to be set. So I'm going to go back to color value. Okay, let me unselect this. Then you can see that under our default setting, the color value is too dark. So, and I do not want that. So under default here, I'm just going to change the color value and the value color to maybe let's say 20% darker. So it will not be too bright or too dark to see. Good. So when you hover over, it's showing you white, right? And you do not want that. So you go over to hover. Good. Once it's under hover, select it to maybe let's change it to dark or this gray color here. So what do you see? Do you see this? Do you see this? Then when you select, it's giving you a white color, which is fine to me. So for my, let me go back to default again and make it a little bit darker. So the good thing about formatting and customizing your dashboard is you might go you might go front and back with colors and formatting, changing the color of your text, changing. So make sure that whatever you are doing is going to be readable. Make sure that anybody who is going to see it can read what it is about. So I think this is okay. So the background colors are blurred a little while the highlighted color is more prominent. Okay. So I am not yet done with the slicer. If you notice that when I selected Fanta, it's the interaction made my total units to show just one bar. So which is not really ideal. That's not the reason why I created this bar chart. I wanted the bar chart to show all the beverage brand by the total units, irrespective of the slicer you apply. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go to data and drill. Sorry, go to formats, select edit interactions. Once you select edit interaction, you see all these buttons on the go to your total beverage total unit by sold by beverage brand. Select this map, this option here that says none. Just select it. Good. And then make sure that as before you edit your interaction, make sure that you are selecting the particular slicer. Okay, make sure you're selecting the particular slicer. So once you've selected a particular slicer, then go back to your total units by beverage brand, come up here and select none. Good. So you see it has reverted back to how it was before. So this is how you should edit your interactions whenever you are using slicers. So if you are using 3 or 4 slicers, you should be able to edit your interactions so that you don't end up messing up your dashboard whenever slicers are being applied. So once you are done with the edit interaction format, just go back to format and select edit interaction so that all the buttons will go off and your dashboard is cleared once more for it to continue. So we brought out our first slicer. I also want to slice this down. I also want to break my data down into dates and also retailer. So I'm just going to create a separate slicer for that. So go to your build. I'm going to use this particular cards. We're going to be using cards to put up our images. And to do that, all we need to do is to go to build. First of all, let's get our cards out. We're going to be using this new card visual. Just bring it out. Then we'll go to data. What are we going to be using to fill in as our data for this card? It will be the beverage brand. So drag the beverage brand down here into data. Okay, so it's showing first beverage brand, which is fine. So we're now going to close this and go to formats. So while we're at formats, we're going to use we're going to use images. This image option is what we're going to use to get in our images using the image URL. So go to series, select first beverage brand because that's where you want to apply the image. Select the image on, turn it on. Image type, select image URL. So after selecting the image type as image URL, we are going to use conditional formatting to bring in our product URL. So go to FX here, select FS, then go to field value, leave this at field value. What field should we base it on? We should base it on product. I can just type it in product URL DAC, then leave this as this and okay. It will bring out the product. So already my product has the same background as my dashboard background, but you can use PNG images as your image URL that doesn't have background to still work that way. Okay, so that is what we're going to do next. So the next thing we're going to do is to set the position of this image. So let me set it to below text and the vertical okay, yes, below text. I'm going to centralize it. Then after doing that, I'll go back to my color value, select color value and turn off the value. I don't want the value to show. I'll do that. The next thing I want to do, you can see that the first beverage brand is still showing. That is the label, so turn it off as well. That is, it's looking cleaner now. The next thing I'm going to do is to go to cards. I want to turn off the background of the card, turn off the border, turn off the background, then go to size and style, turn off the background as well. So you can see that our image is now cleaner, it's looking cleaner. So we can resize this image as much as we want. So I'm going to just resize it and leave it here. Now that this is done, let's apply the filters and see if it changes. Coca-Cola is coming up, no image URL. Dasani water, Fanta, Powerade, and Sprite. So it's just simple. It's just very simple to use images in your report. And Power BI has made it very easy. At first, before we didn't have this option to use cards and generate images using the new card visual, but Power BI has made it native. So it's easier for you to generate images instead of going to get additional visuals from the Power BI store. Okay, I mentioned before, then we can use this simple image to do the same thing, but this is the best option right now. It makes your work seamless, it makes your work faster, smoother. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do right now is to fill in our cards and bring in our key metrics. Once we are done with the image, we're going to be bringing in cards to display our key metrics. So the first thing I want to display is the name of this product. I want it to be displayed boldly. So I'm just going to bring in a card here. This time I'm going to be using the simple card visual. Okay, so we're going to be using this visual, the normal card visual. I'll just bring it out, place it here to display the the name of this image. Then go to beverage brand and drop it in, or you can drop it in the field here. So if you can see that I've displayed the name of this thing, so we're going to format this so that we can use it for other um, metrics too. So let me close this and format. card visual, and we're also going to be using an area chart. So once we've brought in all these items, we're just going to arrange, we're still going to format these cards very well. Our KPI, our metrics, we're going to format them. We're going to apply bold on some of the metrics so that it will be more prominent. So for now, let's bring in the other metrics. So let's bring in our total units sold. Total units sold, just go to format here. Let's bring in our total units sold. So let's go to build. We're going to be using the new card visual. Okay, and we're going to format this once we're done with populating. So let's populate it with total units sold. Bring it to data. Let's format this. Go to format. Once you're in format, go to color value. I want to reduce this to 30. Okay. I want to make it bold, and I'm going to turn off. Okay, let's go to the label first. Total units, so it's okay as it is. The label is okay. I'm going to reduce the label a little bit. Okay. Then go to go to cards, scroll down, turn off the background, turn off the border. Once you are done with that, turn off your accent bar. I would love to use an accent bar this time around. And before I do that, before I customize the accent bar, let's go back to color value, scroll, and centralize it to the, align it to the, not centralize, please align it to the right. Okay. I also want my accent bar to be aligned to the right too. This is the accent bar, this long line in here. So I want it to be aligned to the right. Let me reduce this a little. Okay, once I'm done with that, let me go to size, and let's go to size and style. Turn off the background, so you can see that the text is still blurred. So right now I'm going to still go back to color value. We're still trying to format it, turn on the color and put it to bold, the white, put it to bold, and put the color to white. Let's use this color white. It won't be too bright. Then go to call out value. Sorry, not color, but go back to label, and this time I'm using this 30% darker white to show our total units sold. Then I'm going to go back to my accent bar, scroll down to the accent bar. I'm going to change the color. I'm just going to give it this color too, so it will not be too pronounced. Let's see how it happens. I will increase the width to 3. Good. Now there's something I want to do. I want to change the shape to rounded.
So for your x-axis, keep the values down, reduce it to 8. It's fine. Turn off the title. We don't need the title at this point in time. Go to size and style. Turn off the background. We also do not need the background. So we're going to change the color of our line now. I'm going to be using a line, a lighter shade. So go down to line, select lines, go to color. We are going to be using a lighter shade, and remember I mentioned that I love to use color picker tool, so I'm just going to pick a lighter shade on this particular dashboard. So I'm going to be using my Windows Shift C and then select a lighter shade. Let's use this lighter shade. Just click on it to bring out the shades there, then copy. Now once I've copied it, I'll come in here, highlight it or select this and then paste it, and okay, so I already have my lighter shade there. Then since I turned off my background color, the x-axis values are dark, so I would love to use a lighter color so it will show me the months in there. Okay, so this is it now. This is it. Good. So all I need to do now is to take this, just bring it down a little and arrange it here. You know, it looks like my card is a little bit small. So I'm just going to be enlarging this major card holder, placeholder. I'll enlarging it a little bit. Of course, I'm going to adjust my images. So let me adjust this here. Then for this, I'm just going to set it in properly. So this is for the total units sold. Let me copy this, Ctrl C and paste. I want to duplicate this area chart, then drag the duplicate down under total sales card. So once this is done now, I will go back to build and remove the total units sold and then add my data. All I'll be adding here now is the total sales. So I'll select total sales here and it's being added. Good. So this is my total sales now. Now to copy the formatting, I'll just copy this, copy formatting, use my formatting tool, come here and paste it here. Okay, so it seems that did not work. That's fine. So we can just go to line, go to color, and just select that same color we used. So it will apply to the shade area. Okay, so it will apply to the shade area. If you want to change the shade area, it's also simple. Just go to shade area and choose a different color. You can either match line color or you put in your own color which you would like to use for the shade area. Now once this is done, I would like to display the total units sold month on month. That's I want to compare it to previous month. How much percentage change did this particular unit sold, but how much percentage change was made compared to the last month. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So we want to bring in our percentage change to previous month. So I'm just going to use the new card visual right now. Remember, we've already calculated our percentage change. That is total units sold month on month. So that's what we're going to be using here. Just put it in data unit, put it in data here and drag it here. So total units sold month on month. Now let's customize this. I keep using customize. Let's format this. Now I want a situation also whereby if my percentage, remember this is in percentage. I even forgot to mention, once you are calculating a DAX measure for percentage, for instance we've calculated total units month on month, always select the percentage sign so it will display it for you in percentage. So instead of 0.12, I'm going to have 12%. Let's watch and see what happens. So we have 11.52%, and now I would like to reduce it to just one. I just want to remove, just put it to zero, just put it to zero so it will round up the percentage. I don't want any points in there. And then once we're done with that, okay, it's coming up 12%. Once we're done with this right now, we can also do the same for the total sales month on month. So let's do the same for this now before we go on. So select it, percentage. Then instead of automatic for the decimal point, we're going to just put in 0. Let's wait for it to load. Okay, sorry, put it in 0. and select outside, wait for it to load. Okay, so it's work for sales month to month. So let's go back to total units month to month right now. Close this up and close this. Let's format this. I want a situation whereby if my percentage is below 0, if it is negative, then it should show me red, but if it is in positive, it should show me green. So I'm going to do that formatting, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this in a simple way. So I hope you are still following me. Let's continue. So first of all, let's customize the layout values. Go to size and style, turn off the background, close this, go to layout. It's okay as it is. Okay, we can put the cards, maximum card shown as 1, since we're not showing any other thing. Go to color value. Okay, before we go to color value, let's go to cards first. Go to cards, go to background, turn it off, turn off your border too. Let me bring this out so it won't conflict with the rest of the card. It's here right now. I want to show it. So we've turned all that off. Go to alignment. It's in central alignment, so let's leave it at that. Now the next thing we're going to do is to go to color value. I'm going to just reduce the color value from 45 to 20. I'm going to reduce it from 45 to 20. I'm also going to my label. Before I go to label, select series, select total units month on month. Good. Come to label here, select the label, drop down under automatic, just type in change to previous month. Let's type it in. I'm going to just reduce the size, and I'm going to change the color to a lighter shade. Let's change the color to a lighter shade here, and I'm going to put it at italics. Let's change to previous month. Now remember, my color value is still dark, but I said I was going to do what? I was going to apply conditional formatting to this. So how do we do this? So select your conditional formatting. So once we're in conditional formatting, just scroll down, select rules. So which field should we base this on? Base it on the total units month on month. Okay, so what are we trying to say? We're saying that if value is greater than or equal to minimum and less than 0, then give me red. But we used red already in the background, so we're going to use another color to visualize our negative. So this time around, I would love to be using maybe a lighter color. Let me use this light color. If it's too dark for the background, we're going to just change it. So let's use this lighter color. Then add new rule. If value is greater than or equal to 0 and less than max, just give me green. I'm going to be using this green here. And then what do we do? Once that is done, we press OK. So which field should we base this on? We want to base this on our total units month on month. Make sure you select the field you want to base it on, and then click OK. Good. So can you see that our change to previous month is 12% now? It's 12%. So we need to test this to see if it will change back to negative if the value is turns into, like, if it change back to maybe a different color if the percentage turns into negative. So to do that, I didn't add a slicer for month, so let me select this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I'm just going to duplicate it and put in a slicer for month. Put in a slicer for months. Now once that is done, go to build. Instead of day, we're going to be selecting month name. Good. So let's select the months. Now the months are gone. Let's go to February. Okay, you can see that a lot of things were affected. Good. So you can see that the color changed here, and also my area chart changed into dots because this particular slicer was affecting it. Now I do not want that to happen, so just go to your formats, edit interaction, and then we're going to turn off interaction for this chart. For this slicer, turning on the interaction for the area chart only. Good. So once that is done, just select edit interaction again, everything will disappear. So for select day, go to slicer header. Instead of select day, type in select month, and we're good to go. So select day, select month, select day, and select retailer. We can even switch this. Let's rearrange it. come to select day, come and put it here, select month, put it in the middle, and select retailer. So let's, when we're done, we're going to make adjustments to this properly so that everything looks neater. Okay, so let's leave it for the at this now. Okay, you can see our operating profit is also, it went from a line chart to a dot, and because of this select month slicer we applied. So still go back to format, select the slicer, go to format, click edit interaction, and then come here and turn off the interaction. So we don't want the select month to affect this slicer, the select month slicer to affect this line chart, because already the line chart is in months. The data there was splitted into months. Okay, so we're just going to turn off the interaction. Now we've done that, I'm going to come here and click it again. So I hope you've learned how to turn off your interaction. So let's take this I think so. Good. So 970K. Okay, so let's leave it at this now. Let's leave it at this. You can check other, go to diet cook, let's see. So once we're done with this, I want to write up a little story about this particular product, another product under here, and I'm going to be using a text box to do that. I know most of us don't know that text boxes can be dynamic too. It can be dynamic. So I'm just going to write up a little story, a little thing about this particular product. So to do that, we're going to be inserting values to make it dynamic. Okay. So to do that, we're going to be using this value option. So select the value, go to name your value. Let's name the value first. I want to name it as beverage brands. Good. So ask a question. How do you want to calculate this value? We don't want to calculate. We just want the beverage brand. So once you are typing it, will just bring out the option based on what you have on your data. So select beverage brand and then save it. Save. Good. So Diet Coke is out. Then space Diet Coke. So Diet Coke was sold a total of, we want to put in now the amount of times Diet Coke was sold. And how do we do this? Remember, we've already had made the calculation for transaction count. So I'm just going to come to value here, insert, we're going to search, I'm going to type in transaction count here as the title of my value, transaction count. Then come here, how do you want to calculate this value? Just type in transaction count, trans count. It's already there. Good. And then save. It will just bring out the value. Made a total, also the total of 624 times, and made an operating profit of, we're going to insert our operating profit too. Oh, okay, because I already calculated the profit and made a profit of, okay, and so UI, it's okay. Then what next thing I want to do is I want to highlight the dynamic value. So like Diet Coke now, I'll make it bold, and I'll come to, so the total of our transaction count, make it bold. I want to increase this the I want to make it whiter too. So I just come here, make it whiter, come to Diet Coke, make it whiter, come to profit, just highlight the profit, cancel first, make it bold and make it white, and then come to months, cancel. make it bold, just highlight it, cancel. Sorry, once you click on it, it will just pop out that box. So make it white and make it bold. Okay, good. This looks good. Let's bring it down, and then let me highlight everything and make it italics and see how it looks like. Reduce the size to 12. I don't want it to be too bold. Let's see how it looks like, because I just want to tell a story, right? So this looks okay. This looks okay. So Diet Coke was sold a total of 624 times and made a profit of $473,000 during the month of April. So we can, whenever you're building your dashboard should always tell a story. Use it to tell a story. Let people know that, okay, this is what you're actually building. So there's something else I want to do. I want to come back to operating profit here. I want to adjust this. So I'll go to the title. Instead of operating profit, I'm just going to leave it at profit. Profit by month. Or I can say monthly profit. Now make it very good and neat. Then I'm going to turn off the data labels and put it by the and turn on the y-axis values. I'm doing this so that this will not look too clustered, but the data markers will still be there. So go to format, okay, go to y-axis, turn on your value. This is what we need. We'll turn on the value, close your y-axis, scroll down to data labels and turn it off. Okay. Now go to grid lines. I don't need the grid lines, turn it off. So it's looking neater now. Okay, before we do anything further, go to y-axis, go back to y-axis, go to values, because the values are too dark, we can't see them. interactivity of having your report published. So it won't show you the lines, the borders, and all those stuff you used to show whenever you are working with it on the desktop. Okay, this is the Coca-Cola Product Analysis Dashboard, and this is the end of this tutorial. I hope you love this tutorial, and I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial. Please don't forget to give me a follow and subscribe to my channel, as I'll be dropping more interesting content like this and more interesting educational videos like this for you to learn. Alright, so thank you so much for following along up to this moment, and see you next time. Bye.